Hi everybody, it's Julie Gowen here, straight from Over the Top. And today I'll be showing you some 4 cookies. And I prepared some in steps, so hopefully it'll go nice and smooth for you. What I decided to do was take some cookies that I had already done before that I showed my friend Melinda, and she really liked some of them, so I gave them a Fiesta twist. So with no further ado, let's get started. I'm going to change the camera down, and then you can see my hands instead of my face.
I'm sorry, dear.
That's okay.
Look at them.
Oh, look at that. Yay.
So tell me when you think.
Oh, that's good, I think.
Oh, right there.
Yay.
Well done. Okay.
We're working on it. So you can see my little designs. Originally I had talked about using a palette knife on the cowboy with the horse. And as I mentioned to you a minute ago, originally I had done some for the State Fair.
It takes a
There
second.
we go.
Yeah.
And this is the horse one, but the palette knife was a lot easier to use on a sky than it is with multiple colors, so I chose to do that a little differently today. So you'll see I made the barn previously, and it's going to have a Fiesta twist, and then our little oil rig cookie will have a Fiesta twist as well. Instead of oil, it'll be spewing cascarone paper.
Yeah.
Woohoo! Nothing like cascarones to keep things going. My cheat sheets just fell. Okay, there we go. So, with no further ado, here we go. Melinda says I have about an hour and 15 minutes, so hopefully all will go well. There we go. And pardon me if I'm a little nervous too, because I've never done this live before, so here we go. Y'all are laughing at me.
We're laughing.
Yes, that's true. So the first one I'm going to do, and I'm trying to do this in some sort of logical order, is fill this little airbrush just a smidgen, because I'd like to put the sky on the oil rig background. Of course, I have a lot of blue airbrush ink on my fingers right now. That's what happens sometimes. Don't have to have a fancy airbrush. This one I think is actually a makeup airbrush or something, so it's relatively inexpensive. I might have gotten it at Hobby Lobby or somewhere. And so there you go. I talk a lot, it sounds like, right, to fill the space. It's because I'm nervous. So anyway, so there's my airbrush. Here's Texas. It's already been iced with white and brown. That way I won't have to take a lot of time to do flooding. I'm making the assumption that most people who are watching know how to flood a cookie. So probably a lot of y'all know how to airbrush too. I am not the world's greatest at it, as you can see. But hey, it's sky, and sky is never perfect. Right, y'all? Have some friends in the background that are here keeping me company, which is really cool, especially when I'm nervous. So there you go. It's a little spotty, sorry about that. Becky, I could certainly use some tips from Becky, who will be on after me, because she's really good at airbrushing. But anyways, so there's my little sky. It's coming along. It's a blue sky with a few clouds. So there you go. I can turn this off. Okay, ooh, there we go. So I'm going to set this aside for a moment, because the next thing I'll be doing on this cookie is the oil rig tracing. No, I think I can go ahead and do that right now. So I have my little paper oil rig here, a little template I made, and I'm just going to take a moment and outline it. Y'all are so quiet. And hi to everybody that's there, by the way. Thanks for coming on, if somebody's on there. And just relax. Maybe there's some people from out of state. I don't know if everybody's heard of Fiesta if you live out of state. But it's a very exciting time here in San Antonio with parades and all kinds of fun stuff. So the little oil rig is almost finished being traced because I'm not great at freehanding. And my hands are shaking a little bit. There we go. Okay, so the oil rig is enough there so that I can ice it. And I brought some pretty thick icing, black icing for my oil rig. And I'm just going to test it for a moment. Oops. Not wanting to come out yet. Trying not to cover the cookie either. Okay, oh, that's good. There we go. Yep, it's thick enough to make a nice line. Okay, so here's, hopefully I won't make y'all dizzy with my turntable. I love to use a turntable when I ice cookies. So, it doesn't have to be perfect. We were talking about perfectionism earlier today here, and how none of us in this room are perfectionists. And I bet y'all hear the laughing. There. Kind of went off the... It's kind of like tracing in a coloring book. I don't know if y'all like coloring, but I grew up loving to color. So... kind of like that. If the line breaks while you're doing it, don't stress about it because you can go right over it. It's not so thick that it's going to break off when you touch it, but it's not so thin that it's going to run everywhere. But there you go. See, it kind of made a little break, but that's okay. It's all good. And you can see some spotting on the brown probably, or not. But that's going to be covered up, so no need to worry about that. There, okay, draw this. I'm going to throw this in the dehydrator in a second when I'm finished. Sure, that would be great. Thank you. I forgot to. Yeah. Thank you. It's on the very top. The button is. I'm too short too. We put it on the table next to here so it wouldn't be so loud in the video or the live. And so it's kind of tall for Melinda and I to reach, really. But I bet they're going to get a chair or something. Y'all are funny. So I'm almost finished with putting these little railing thingamabobbers on there. I don't know what they're called, but it doesn't really matter in the big scheme of things. There. Ooh, there it goes. Starting up. Are you having fun, Melinda?
Would that have to be a third time?
No, I mean, I usually put it on 95, but you can put it on whatever.
It's on 100?
Okay, that's fine.
1,000?
1,000, yes.
Okay.
No, that's fine. Okay, so I'm going to put this in the dehydrator so it can set up a bit. Oh, Look, Vanna's here.
Okay.
Y'all are probably laughing, but that's okay because I love to laugh. My friends here at Over the Top know this. And so there you go. Okay, so we've done that part, and now I'm going to jump over to the cowboy, and I'll show you that picture again so you remember what it looks like. Oh yeah, there we go. That's the cowboy. That's the one we're going to start with next, going in order. And as I mentioned to you, I decided not to use the palette knife because that was going to not work as well as I thought. So I have this lovely palette that I got recently when I was at CookieCon, which I love to go to. I think it was my 5th one this year. And I took an Artie Magoo class. I bet a lot of y'all are familiar with her. And in her little goodie bag, she gave us these lovely paint palettes. And so I'm going to use this today. Just do a little drop of each color in here. And then I'm going to put some alcohol in it. I think my friends over here have something else that we could use, but I'm just going to stick with the vodka. I promise I won't drink it right now.
Right now.
I don't even drink it, but it works great for what we're doing. Let's see, orange. Okay. There. I'm leaving a space between them, just, I'm not sure why. It's just easy to remember which one is which that way, except for the end when I run out of spaces. There. And one last color. There. Okay, got those colors. Now I'm gonna drop some vodka in with this lovely little pipette. There we go. Oh, Illinois, my goodness. Some people are here from a long way away. How exciting. Thank you for coming and being with us. There, so I'm just going to put some alcohol now in each one. It's 100, I believe it's 100 proof vodka. It's what I always use. And doesn't really matter how much. And then I'll mix them up a little bit.
That's okay. You put a lot of vodka. What are you drinking?
There, so we got some vodka in there. And I have the perfect size brush I discovered at home, since I wanted kind of a wide striping. It's this lovely brush. I don't really remember where I got it, so oh well. But so I'll make it a little bit wet to start with. There. Ooh. Okay, here we go. So this basically will just take striping, alternatively maybe. I might do that. There. Okay. So it's kind of like painting it on. I love watercolor. It's pretty. Isn't this the perfect brush size for a stripe? I know y'all can't answer.
Yes, it is.
Oh, what brand of food gel do I use? I have Chef Master. I have Vigor. I can't pronounce it. But Vibyor. I have Hobby Lobby, Americolor, Wilton. Chef Master, yeah. So I have lots of different brands of gel, food gel. And I don't have a lot of, I guess, years of experience, or I haven't really tested to see which one I like the best. So I just go with whatever I have. Let's see, so that is going to be there. So probably the next one will be here. This is a really pretty color blue. I'm just going to test this over here. Ooh, that's a very pretty color blue. Okay, ready? Ready. So there's some blue. It's not a perfectly straight line, but then it's sort of supposed to kind of mimic a serape. Behind me. Oh. Well, anyways, there's one behind me that y'all saw at the very beginning. And so it doesn't have to be perfect, right?
Right.
And now I need to rinse out my water again. That's the downside with doing watercolor, is because the water gets kind of nasty when you rinse your brush. Vanna came over again. Thank you, Vanna. Melinda makes a great Vanna. I love Melinda.
There you go, dear. Just in
Thank
case.
you so much. Oh, ooh, how interesting. Oh, there it is. Oh, no, I didn't. Okay, never mind. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to skip, of course, again and kind of eyeball it to see where the next line will go, which is right about here. This is really not rocket science, and you don't need a ruler for this. But it looks kind of cool, right?
Looks nice.
Oh, y'all are sweet. You're so quiet over here.
But we were trying to be quiet for you, and what is it done?
You're not paying attention to class.
I know, y'all are great. They're good students here. There, that green is really pretty. I like that green. It's that weird brand color vibe. How do you pronounce that anyways? Do y'all know? This,
Oh no, I've never heard of it.
I know. It was in a gift bag that I won somewhere. Yeah. But it's pretty. It's a lovely green. There. Okay, now I'm going to go back. I'm going to let this dry for a moment because I don't really want the colors to run everywhere. So I'm just going to set this. Yeah, maybe I should set it. Thank you. And we're going to move to the barn. And I brought a naked cookie for the barn. But where's my cookie? Somewhere hiding. Oh, there you are. Okay, so we're going to move to the barn for a moment. Here it is. There. Hi, Pamela. So nice to see you. A friendly face. There's so many of y'all. So that's the completed one. And so I'm going to... I didn't put the white icing on it yet, and I probably won't because I'm doing this in stages, but just so you can see the process of the door and the, I don't know what you call the little thing that the hay comes out, but anyways, whatever it's called, I usually just scrape it on there a little bit, so I just guesstimate. Doesn't have to be perfect because the red planks are eventually gonna cover some of that. Oh, thank
Did
you.
it ready?
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Thank you. I'll come back to you in a minute. Okay. So, see my tips? I live with these tips. I love these tips for icing bags. Yeah. Okay. I'm using your icing bag holder. And now I'm going to scrape it with one of these nifty scrapers. Every one of my cookies is a little different in size of the black area. And unless you're, you know, trying to make each one the same size, I wouldn't worry about it too much. We're not machines. I think that's part of the beauty of what we do, is each one of our cookies is a little bit different, but similar. When I did these for the state fair last year, I worried about that a little bit because I got to go in the next round and they wanted identical cookies. But you know, you just can't make them perfectly identical. So, black on the doors. Okay, good. Okay.
He's asking if you decorate on the bottom side of the cookie.
I did on these, yes, because they're flat. I mean, because that side is flat. I don't always. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. It kind of depends on, am I doing stenciling because the back side is really nice and flat for a stencil, or I don't know, sometimes I just like the flat side, the cooked side, the bottom. So now, as you can see, I brought in another barn with part of the planks, and so I'm going to take a couple of minutes and fill in the red planks. What I did was I drew some lines with my black edible marker on the blank one before I iced them, but I didn't do that this time on the test cookie there. Oh, might help if I cut the tip open. This consistency that I'm using for the planks is probably about 18-second consistency. Say that 3 times. Could be a little bit thicker, but I don't really like craters, and the first couple of samples that I was doing cratered, and so I just thought, well, thick is better. So that's what I did. But I just don't like a lot of craters, and that happens sometimes because the icing is too thin. And
Do you still need this?
this will probably, yeah,
Okay. That's fine.
yeah, I don't mind. Is it too loud?
No. I just didn't know if I
Oh, okay, yeah, no, it's fine. Yeah. So some planks are longer than others, and so, you know, you don't want it to be uniform. Yeah. I guess I could have done like wood planks, but I like the red barn. I think that's kind of cool. And then you'll see on the one that's more completed that I take some time to dry dust it to give it a little bit more character. Maybe it's a barn that's out in the field somewhere. There we go. So this doesn't take horribly long, but you know, if you're starting from the beginning with the barn, you need to do planks that aren't touching each other, which makes the barn a little more time consuming, because you want it to at least crust over before you start messing with its neighbor. I like a little definition. I mean, you could just ice the whole thing in one fell swoop, but I do like the definition of the planks. There. See, this little guy is smaller, I think, than the first one. the first time I've ever iced a cookie upside down. But that way y'all can see it, like the right way, right?
That's right.
But this barn isn't horribly hard to ice upside down, so yeah. So they're not perfectly flat, and I like that. I could have maybe stressed them a little bit, but I'll stress them out with some dry dust in a few minutes. I really like these. I don't know how many people use these, but they're great. Cuts down on the amount of paper towels that we use, because I'm always wiping my scribe. And I tend to like a scribe that has a really thin tip. So this one might be one that I got at Hobby Lobby or something. There. The decorative ones are cute, but I really like a thin tip. There we go. Look at that, all the little red planks are done. Yay, how exciting. Let's see, okay. Look, I did it. Yay.
Yay.
There's that one. Now, let's see, where's my Alamo? Here's the Alamo cookie. I know in the sample that y'all saw, the door was a different color, but I really like a brown door. It's the only thing on this Alamo cookie that's reminiscent of the Alamo downtown, because the Alamo is not white either. But hey, it's all good. And I made all kinds of different cookies. This one is a caramel cookie. Yum, I know, right? So I just made that just for grins. So for the doors, I'm just going to scrape some brown on there. And again, it's one of those things that you don't have to worry about how much you're putting on, because it's going to get covered anyway. Probably won't be flooding that one, but just to show you what I do with scraping. These little guys are really super nifty. I think they were from Cookie Con or something. They're a great size. Just right for scraping. Yay. How does that look? Good, right? There. Then, oh, yeah. This is a little lighter coat than I did the first time. And then I'm going to eyeball it just to make a distinction between the doors. Yeah, icing is a little thinner than I did the first time, but that's okay. There. So it will dry like that. Okay. That's all she's going to do right now on the Alamo. Okay. So now, here's our little Alamo person. Now we get to put some paper doodads on there. What are the paper doodads called?
Papel picado?
Huh?
Papel picado?
Papel picado. Papel picado? Okay.
Papel.
Papel picado. Okay, there you go.
Yay.
Yay! And so now I'm going to attach those first before I go ahead and put the rest of the little doodads on there. I just figured it would be easier, that way I'm not running into the windows and stuff. And so, of course, I have to cut my little tip. It doesn't need to be huge because it's just a little flag doodad to hang the flags on. There it goes. It's coming through. There it goes. See it? Yep. Okay. So we're just going to do a little hoop-de-doo. Ooh, this one's thicker, so yeah. And there. We have a lot of these flags and stuff hanging in lots of places in San Antonio right now. Restaurants hang them. They're everywhere. And they're even in here for the spirit of things. Doesn't have to be perfectly straight. And sorry, this is upside down for y'all. Whee! There. Okay, that's pretty good. There, see? There you go. So these lovely little flags, what are they called? Oh yeah. So I made these with, as royal icing transfers. I made them using a relatively thick white icing, and then I printed them on Eddie. So they turned out pretty cool. So we're just gonna lay some on here.
Yes, what piping bags you use?
Oh, what piping bags do I use? I use, here, whoops, there we go. Some piping bags from Sheer Celebrations. What I love about these is they have a textured feel on one of the sides. I don't know how other people feel about that, but it's just a nice grip. And they're very strong. So yes, they come usually in bags of 100. And she sells, don't know what the inches size are, but they're small, medium, and large. So, Rebecca Shear of Sheer Celebrations. It's a great question. Let's see, I only have one of these yellow ones, so I think I'll use it on this. I'm tempted to use my fingers to pick it up. Yeah, I think I will. So sorry, this is not going to, that might work on some of them, but let's see. Okay, yeah. So here's my little yellow one. He gets to be in the center of things. Why not? There. Woohoo! There's the yellow. And then you can kind of make them look like they have a pattern to them or not. Oh, that is upside down, yes. You have to. This guy is a little skull with a sombrero on. Isn't he cute? And then we're going to do this one. They're all a little bit different. This one has a little flower design in the center. I just found these online and printed them. There. And let's see, I'll use this darker one. Thank you. And then here's this one. How cute is that? There. See if he'll stay. I think he will. Okay. And then here's one like this. I don't know if you can see up close. I'll show you in a minute. But they all have slightly different design, which is really cool. I like that about them. Hopefully that's sticking. Let's see, I need another red. I could use an orange. Thank you. Vanna White's over here helping again, because I love that. She's super great. We all need one. There. And there's another blue. There we go. They're really small. I have like a stencil of these at home, but the stencil was too big for the little papers that I was going to use on these cookie designs. So these are really cool. As you can see, they all have a slightly, can you see the designs in them? They're all slightly different. This one's that way, and this one looks like a little flower, and this is a little sugar skull, it looks like, with a sombrero on, and this is some flowers. So they're kind of cool. So that's that part. And then, what do I want to do? Oh, and I'm going to put them there. Okay. Now I'm going to come back to the cowboy cookie. Yes, cowboy cookie. And finish the watercoloring. I'm going to go back and do the colors in between. I'm really trying to rinse off this brush because I want to use the yellow next. Let's see what happens. Oh, thank you. Okay, so here comes yellow. And you know, yellow will mix in a little bit with the blue, so that will be a little green, but it's a zeotopen. There, okay. Do what? I know, I'm just kind of spread out everywhere, aren't I? Okay, let's see. So we did yellow. And we're going to do some orange. Thank goodness I have my sample cookie there. There. It's coming along, isn't it? Ooh, ran out of ink. There. Yeah, there's orange. I started, the first time I decided to do the watercoloring, I started out using a stencil, but the color kept bleeding under the stencil. So I decided, just use a paintbrush, why not? It's easy. There, what's next? Red, okay. There, last color. Then we'll let it dry a little bit before we do the stencil on there. Ooh, need to mix that up. Here. This has lots of space to spread out on this. There, okay, here comes the red. Ooh, pretty red. Whoopsie. There. And there. Okay. Here we go. There you go. So there's the watercolor. Gonna let this dry for a little bit before I come back and stencil on it. I really like the blue one. I don't know why the other ones didn't do that kind of little.
Oh, the
texture, but
fading.
that's cool. Yeah, it's kind of neat. Okay, so we're done with that. Huh?
Are you painting that one?
Oh yeah, I am. I'm just following my. Yeah. Okay. So we did that. Let's see. Let's see. Oh yeah. Oh, I could do that. Why not? So let's come back to the Alamo, and we're just gonna put some of the windows and stuff on there. This one will be pretty easy to be finished after that, right? Gonna cut the tip a little bit, just a smidgen, because it's nice and thick icing. That's not maybe gonna. I brought tips, but I might not use them. Why? Right? Okay, let's see. Oh, I guess you want to see it that way, don't you? Okay. So I'm gonna put a window up here. Again, it's eyeballing, right? I don't know if y'all have ever seen the Alamo. When I was young, I'm a native of San Antonio. Us natives got to go on field trips to go visit the Alamo when we were growing up. So. There. So there's the top window. Everybody should go see the Alamo once, I guess, in their life. Right? Just for grins. I'm not sure I want to do the blue yet. I think I will do the doorway first. Sometimes you just change your mind in midstream. Believe it or not, I actually do like silence, but when I'm nervous, I talk. So there you go. Yeah. Okay. So we're gonna make the little thing over the doorway first. Doing it upside down again. This is a very exciting adventure that I've never done. Decorate cookies upside down. This is a really thin line. Looks pretty even. Okay. Oh, I'm not hurting the cookie at all. Okay, good. And then
Kathy says she's done the mission trail walk going to all of the missions in San Antonio.
oh, nice. How long of a walk is that? Did she do it in one fell swoop? It's so nice when you have people that can watch the Facebook and ask questions. Sorry, I'm going to cover the cookie a little bit with my arm. Just eyeballing it. It's not exactly in the middle, but there. And just as a reminder, when you try to lay a straight line, you put down your tip, and then you don't lay the line down on the cookie, you let it fall on the cookie. That's how it comes across reasonably straight. Pretty cool.
Kathy says she did it in one fell swoop. It takes about 2 hours, not including going through the missions. The Riverwalk extension express.
Wow, that's awesome. Sounds like something I'd like to do. Sounds like a great adventure. There. Okay. So now we're going to put these windows on because I have a little point of reference. For some reason I decided that all the windows needed to be blue. Could have done them in different colors.
That's right.
Yeah, you know, you guys can choose whatever colors you want. That's very true. There. And we're almost done with this cookie. I made these cookies, oh, probably a couple of years ago for a friend of mine's wedding. She wanted to give them as gifts when her guests arrived in the hotel. So that was my first adventure with making Alamo cookies. But at that time, I chose to make the papers just with edible markers because I didn't know of any other way at that time. So, but since then, I've been playing with Eddie and trying to get all of that figured out. Yeah, the windows aren't quite the same size, but you know, they probably needed different sizes to shoot guns out of in the War of the Alamo. There we go. So that one is actually finished, y'all. Pretty simple. It takes just a flooding and then all the little doodads. Just like so many things, it's a lot of steps. Not hard, but just a lot of steps. Here you go, Miss Vanna.
Which we need to.
I'm going to take this one back now. Oh, here we go. Okay, we're coming back to Texas now. Woohoo! Okay, so what's missing on that? The fun stuff, right? We need to have a little bit of cascarone fun. Woohoo!
Viva Fiesta!
Yay! Viva Fiesta! So, yeah. Oh, thanks. That's great.
Is that okay?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
That's great, yeah. So I won't actually touch that anymore. Okay, so there he is. There's my Texas one. So now we get to kind of fill in the oil, so to speak, right? with cascarone color. Yeah. Oh, might help if I open up the bag. Yeah. There. Okay, so I'm going to make a few little eggs. Sorry I'm turning it, but I need to sort of be able to see. Okay, so these are like my little version of eggs. They're a little bit big compared to this oil rig. Obviously not appropriately sized. It's okay. They would be teeny tiny if they were appropriately sized. So those are my little cascarone eggs. Not sure why I just did those first. Okay. That one on the left is kind of, or on the right is kind of giant. But here, I'll let, it's crazy, right? I should let this dry a little bit, I think. Otherwise, our cascarone paper will fall on it. Yeah. So, okay. So there you go on that so far. What am I looking for? Oh, this, yes. So let's put the little papers on this now, right? Our little, oh no, I lied. Don't put the papers on it yet. We need to dry dust it first, because I wanted to give it some character. So I've got some brown. This is Chef Master Powder Food Color Brown. And you just start out with a little tiny bit on your paper towel. Just kind of get it in there. And you just move it around on your cookie. See, I didn't have to use brown on the roof, so I just used that to age it a little bit. I could have used black or another color, but brown is fine. You want to get in the cracks, right? There, okay. So, as you can see, there is a difference. It's a little more aged. Maybe it's been weather beaten. There, there. See, now it looks weather beaten compared to my little one that Melinda just took out of the dehydrator. Yeah, what a difference, huh? Yep. There. Okay, so now he's ready for the papers. Woohoo!
You're doing good.
Yes. Really?
No, you are.
Okay. Okay, so now we get to do the cute little papers on here. Every barn needs a little paper decoration. And I'm just doing those little hoop-de-doos. I have quite a few little papers at least. No more yellow, but oh well, that's okay. There. Gosh, I should do cookies upside down more often. There, okay, that's good enough. I could have used silver, black, or whatever. I just figured white was good for that. Okay, so I don't have any more yellow, so, but that's okay. I have plenty of other colors. So let's see. This one is really pretty and looks like the only one of its color. So I think he will go in the center. Sounds perfect. Ooh, as I flip him upside down, there we go. Okay. So here's his little paper. There. Okay. There's that. Ooh, I just dropped that one. That's a really good idea. Everybody should be careful with their little papers. And there. Okay. And here. I I love this color, blue. There. And here. Cute, right? All ready for Fiesta.
Very pretty.
So cute. Thank you. Okay. My hand doesn't want to pick these up. Come on. There. Okay. It's a nice red one. Oh, she's so cute. Some of these really turned out nice with the little scalloped ends.
Yeah.
These really do need some thick icing for the scalloped edges to stay scalloped, because I played around with these quite a bit. Okay, look, she's all ready for Fiesta now with her papers on. Woohoo! Awesome, right? So that one's finished, and I won't actually do anything more with that, I don't think. I'm just kind of finishing them up, right? Yeah, I'm good so far, I think.
Yeah.
Okay.
About 25 minutes.
Oh, okay. So now I'm gonna do the doors of the barn. If I can. Yeah, that's about the center. Here we go again, upside down. And there. Okay. And we're going to go from angle to angle. Again, if you're laying a line down, the idea is to put the end down, come across, and put the end down again. Makes it pretty straight. And then the same here. Put the end down. And you see it's just a minute little bit up. And then you set the end down again. And once again. And you squeeze the bag just so, where it's not coming out super fast. Oops, it had a little tiny crack. That wood must have had too much rain on it. There. Okay. And then here. I've been decorating cookies since about, I don't know, somewhere around 2019 or so. And I have found it to be very relaxing because I'm a counselor full-time, and so I can really go off into a zone when I go in the decorating room. It's just very different from counseling and a lot of fun. And there, you want to stop again because you've got a corner to turn. Ooh, it cracked again, but that's okay. We'll fix it. There. Come back and lift that off. Here with my little tiny scribe. Okay. One last door here. Yeah. So there's the doors. Woohoo! Now, I brought a tip and a coupler and all that good stuff. It looks like the only time I'm going to use it is for yellow. I'm going to use a grass tip to make the hay come out. So there's that. Going to get this so I can attach my coupler. Everybody on here probably knows how to do this, but just in case, cut off, I don't know, about an inch, maybe a little more. Just need to have room for the coupler to go sliding down. Okay. So the peppers inside, and then you want to put your grass tip on. It is a number, it's a Wilton 233. I love the grass tip. It's great for hay. It's great for hair. I've used it for hair and grass, of course, and all kinds of stuff. So the grass tip is lovely. Okay, I'm going to cut off this. I almost forgot to do that. There. Okay, now, there we go. Okay, so my yellow is ready. And so what I like to do with this is just kind of do like a shell and bring it up a little bit and then bring it down. And with hay, you know, it doesn't have to be all even because I don't think hay comes out that even when it's hanging out. There. Doesn't that look cute?
Nice, yes.
Like hay?
Yes.
Thank you. There. So the barn is finished. It's very easy, but again, you have to be prepared with a lot of little steps. So there's the end result of the barn. I actually think I like this one better than the other one. Yeah, where am I? Oh, let's see. Oh, yes, I do. I just have those. Yeah. So I'm going to do my cowboy friend. Now, bear with me with this cowboy because I have lots of fun with scraping stencils. And this is a cake stencil. You can buy this stencil at Sheer Celebrations. She made this stencil. And sometimes when I stencil, it goes crazy no matter what I do. So when I told y'all I did it for the state fair last year, I did the black cowboy and the horse with the black, and the black slid. I brought the wrong stencil. That's okay. The black slid, and so then there was this glob behind it, and so in order to fix it, I just turned it into a moon behind him. I did not bring the other stencil that I was supposed to have, and so I'm just going to rig this a little bit so I don't get cactus stencil on there. What I normally like to do if I'm blocking off something is put some press and seal on it. It does wonders. But since I brought this stencil instead of that one, I'm just going to use paper towel. There. And if cactus gets on there, that's okay, I guess, right? You won't be too worried about it. Okay, so we're just going to hold this one. Now this one is the funky one. Oh, wow. Let's see. Okay, so I have this thick icing again. And oh, there, I found my scraper. Cookie Countess. I have quite the hodgepodge of tools and supplies. My little holder of tools is Cookie Countess too. My pink mat comes from Jeannie's Products. She gave these mats to us at CookieCon in our bag, our goodie bag, or whatever you call it. That's kind of cool. I love this pink mat. It's great. Okay, so here we go. We're going to attempt to stencil this thing on. And yeah, this cookie is not as thick as I was hoping it would be. So I might lift it up a little bit. So bear with me. Sometimes you just have to adjust. It is what it is, right? So I'm going to make a little table for this cookie to sit on. How many hands does it take to do a cookie? Okay, that might be better. Here. Let's do this. Oh yeah, let's just do that.
Go ahead, I got this.
Okay. Let's see if this is enough table to lift it, to give it some height. Okay, let's try that. Now I have to get it relined up, don't I? Oh, that's a little too something. Oh yeah, that's better. Is that better? Yes. Oh, he looks so cute. Bring him over just a smidgen more. Yeah. See, that's a little better higher up, so I don't have to quite worry about the stencil leaking, hopefully. There. Let's put this under here because I don't want this cacti on my cookie. Sounds like lots of activity is going on. How exciting. Yeah. I didn't really mean to bring this one because this stencil is lifted up a little bit. I'm not sure why, so I have another one which I should have brought. Oh well, we'll see how it goes. Nothing like being live. So I'm starting from the bottom because I really wanted that piece to get down on there before I got further, just to hold it. There. Again, this is not perfect, but it's okay. It's for fun. Horsey's almost covered. Ooh. Let's see. I'll put a little bit more on. This is. Ooh. His leg is lifting up a little bit, so it's anybody's guess how this is going to really turn out. It's not the smoothest of swiping that you'll ever see, but hey, it's all good. Okay, and I'm not going to risk taking off a lot of stuff. Now, woohoo! Everything needs a little bit of diamond dust, right? I think this is Sugar Arts diamond dust. Yay! We're having a fiesta now. I just think it needs a little bling. There we go. That looks pretty smooth, actually. Okay. Now we get to see the finished product, and we have one more to finish. And this was the one that, yeah, the tail smudged a little bit, as you can see. But and there's a little, it's a little bit jagged. I mean, it's not one I would enter into a competition by any stretch of the means. But I think that cookies are for eating. And if you can just kind of run around it a little bit, there's a lot of things you can fix on a cookie, so it's probably not a bad thing that that happened. 'Cause then you get to fix it. It's spread out everywhere. I know.
It's okay.
Yeah. Can you see? Yeah, you can. Okay, so I dampened my brush a little bit. I have to be careful not to touch the watercoloring that I did. But just kind of neatening up the edges a little bit. Actually, I think this stenciling job turned out pretty good compared to the one that I brought to show you. You never know. Okay, so there's that cutie. Oops, quite get that off. Let's clean up his little leg area. I know there's no perfectionists that are watching either, right? Yeah, right. There, okay, so we'll just dab this. There. There it is. I had thought about putting some tassels on either side, and actually that might have worked, but I think it would have crowded the horse a little bit too much, so I just left it like this. So there's our finished little guy. So we have that finished, and the barn and the Alamo. So the only thing I have to go back to now is cascarone time. Woohoo! Yes, here we are. Okay, how are we doing time-wise?
Yeah, 10 minutes.
Good, okay. Wow, the time goes super fast. Okay, so for the eggs, I'm just going to hope that I don't dent them as I decorate them. But originally when I did this cookie, I put the cascarone papers on first before the eggs. So this kind of threw me off where I had to let the eggs dry before I put the paper, so to speak, on there. Oopsie. Eggs. Oopsie. Okay, you're going to have a double green line there. And then we'll use some yellow. These are kind of thick, but they, if you are careful and do it on the exact tip, it's not so thick. I don't think my hand is shaking too much. Of course, I only have 10 minutes left, so. Y'all have been great about watching and asking questions and making comments. It's really cool. Who knows? Melinda might convince me to do it again.
Oh, you will.
She said, oh, you will. Uh-oh. I guess I will.
Kathy's asking, is that the SC Western Scene cake stencil that you use?
Yes. I'm pretty sure it is that. Cheer celebration, yes. There. How does that? That's good, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Last step, y'all, and you survived watching this crazy girl. So now we get to do our oil. Woohoo! Which is not really oil. It's going to be sprinkles. Yay! I love sprinkles. I have been fascinated with sprinkles way before I did this. I went to Interlochen. It's a arts camp in Michigan when I was 14 and 16. And they had a place in the main location called the Melody Freeze. And of course they sold a lot of ice cream there. And they used to, dip them in sprinkles. So an ice cream cone dipped in sprinkles. That's where my heart and my mind goes when I think about sprinkles. I just love that. Look, that's a little different from the other one, but it's okay. It's all good. So final step, y'all, and then we'll be done. Oh yeah, that's fine. That would be great. Then we'll be done. Isn't that great? There's my brown. I did not bring exactly what I would have done, but the last thing we're going to do is texture around, get some icing on, spread it out. Again, it doesn't have to be perfect. Where's my, there it is, my dirt. Yay. So I'm just going to tap around here so the dirt has a place to stay. Super easy. You could leave this as texturing just with icing. It looks just fine, too. This isn't the greatest of brushes to do this with, but it's what I brought, and I'm not at home. And so I'm just trying to be careful around our little egg friends. There. Are we doing okay?
Oh, yeah.
Good. There. Trying to be careful, don't want to get the eggs too dirty with the dirt. So my dirt, quote unquote, is basically a concoction of cookie shavings, or whatever you call that.
Crumbs?
Yeah, cookie crumbs. And then I used a couple of different kinds of sugars, a white and a gold, I think, just to give it some interest. And here we go. Ready for the dirt, y'all? Oh yeah, that's probably a good idea. So we don't get a big fat mess on everywhere. Okay. So you don't have to be careful with this stuff, right? So I'm not going to be. Whee! Ooh! And you know, you'll dust it off and there. Oh, isn't that pretty though? You can see the shinies.
Yeah.
There's white or clear and gold. I just like that so much. Okay, so we'll shake it off. And, oh yeah. Let's see, I did not bring a fan brush, but that's okay. I usually use a fan brush to dust things off, but I do have a spare brush. So we'll just use that. What I like about the fan brush is that it doesn't have a lot of bristles. You can be careful around things easier than me knocking the oil off just now. But there, with those little cascaroni eggs sticking out there, and there's the oil rig. It doesn't have to be completely uncovered. Okay, so I didn't show you how I did the transfers, but that's okay. I'll save that for another day. So here's what we did today. We finished it, and we finished it, and yeah, we finished it. And I'm really excited about my cowboy dude. He turned out pretty darn good. There, we did it.
Yay.
Yay! Thank you so much for hanging with me. Oh. Yay, we did it! Look, there's your thing behind. I should have thought to do it more like that. But anyways, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. Really enjoyed being with you. Happy Fiesta!
Just hit finish. Or done.